Welcome to the 2024 Women in Podcasting Awards ceremony. My name is Jennifer Hensel, founder of the Women Podcasters Network at womenpodcasters.com, as well as the Women in Podcasting Awards and Women in Podcasting Show. This is our first year of the Women in Podcasting Awards, and we are thrilled with the response and support from the podcasting industry. We have almost 400 nominees, and we had over 15,000 votes. And this is a People's Choice style of awards with a focus on community building to bring recognition and to celebrate the efforts of the nominees in the awards. Due to the success of the awards in our inaugural year, the awards will go forward in 2025, starting in February. Thank you to those who participated in the awards as nominees. Your bravery in stepping out and sharing your message is so inspiring to me and many others. And by lifting your voice, you inspire others to share their stories. You can find links to all of the nominees and winners listed on our website at womenpodcasters.com. Thank you also to our sponsors for your overflowing and abundant support of these women and the Women in Podcasting Awards. You have played a huge role in helping us elevate women's voices globally and in the podcasting industry. And you can also see all the sponsors at womenpodcasters.com and click on awards. We have 38 categories to award today, and we hope to move through them quite steadily. So nominees, be sure to listen for your category. And to start, I'll be presenting 2 awards, and then our sponsors will present some of the awards, and then I will present the remaining awards. First, I'd like to present the award for Best Technology Podcast Award. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Technology Podcast Award is Women in STEM Podcast, Kelly Shungu. Come on up.
Wow, what an incredible honor. Thank you so much to Women Podcasting for hosting this event and for recognizing the Women in STEM podcast for this award. This journey began with a simple goal to amplify the voices of women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Today, it's growing into a global community, inspiring women with their stories, their trials, and their triumphs. I want to express my deepest gratitude to every guest who has graced our show, sharing their experiences and expertise. Your stories have touched lives and inspired countless listeners. To my amazing listeners, your support and fuel our passion. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. And I'd like to take a moment to thank my family, especially my mother, for your unwavering support and your belief in my podcast. And lastly, to every woman in STEM, your resilience, your brilliance, and your determination continues to pave the way for the future of generations. This podcast is for you, about you, and because of you. And last but not least, but please make sure to check us out on all major streaming platforms. And thank you once again for the Women in Podcasting.
Congratulations. Next, I'll be presenting the award for the Best Coaching Podcast Award. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Coaching Podcast Award is Don't Shrink to Fit, hosted by Claudia Noriega Bernstein. Come on up, Claudia.
Hi, everyone. I cannot believe I won the first place. I would like to thank Jennifer Hensel and Women in Podcasting for the opportunity to be part of this incredible event. When I created my podcast, Don't Shrink to Fit, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if anyone would listen to me or if anyone would want to be part of my show. But what I did know was that I had a voice, and I wanted to be a billboard of possibility for women like me who maybe at some point in their life felt alone and without answers. Winning the first place in my category is humbling and an incredible honor. Don't Shrink to Fit is not just a podcast for me, it's a movement. My vision is that every woman learns to never shrink herself to fit, to recognize her worth and her value every time she looks at herself in the mirror. I want to thank my kids, my family, my husband, everybody that voted for me, but especially every woman who trusted me and shared her story in my show. Thank you. You are part of this big time. Congratulations to all the nominees, and thank you so much again for this recognition and for the space to share my vision.
Congratulations. Thank you. All right. The first sponsor I'd like to bring up has been instrumental in getting our message out about the Women in Podcasting Awards and has had a significant impact on our success in this inaugural year of the awards. James Cridlin of Pod News, please come on up.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Hello and welcome to my pokey little hotel room in Oslo in Norway. I'm normally based in Australia, but as you can tell, I'm a Brit. And it's a thrill to be up first. Congratulations, Jennifer, also for an excellent event, so well organized. And I'm really proud to be supporting it as well. Pod News is a free daily email with news about podcasting and on demand. And if you're a serious podcaster, and you all are, because you're here, maybe up for an award, who knows? You should be getting the Pod News newsletter. It's free at podnews.net. So let's present my two awards. And the first Women in Podcasting Award is for the Best Documentary Podcast Award. And the winner for the Best Documentary Podcast Award is Small Town Dicks, hosted by Yardley Smith, Detective Dan, Detective Dave, and Paul Holes. Yardley Smith, come on up.
Wow. Boy, this is incredible. I stand on the shoulders of great editors and incredible co-hosts, and our guests who are all our cases on this true crime podcast are told by the detectives who investigated the case. And they are enormously generous and vulnerable and forthcoming with what it's like to do a really unusual, extraordinarily stressful job where basically their 9 to 5 is meeting everybody on their worst day. Whether you are the victim or the suspect. If you're the suspect, that means they caught up with you and it's probably your worst day. It is such an honor to be recognized. It's certainly never why we do this, but it is always sort of the icing on icing that is just really, it's incredibly meaningful. I feel quite caught off guard. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you all. I'm honored to be in such incredible company. Wow, this is great. Happy Friday. Thank you.
Congratulations to you, Yardley Smith, and of course, also the voice of Lisa Simpson. We've got a real star with us. So thank you so much.
Best job in the world, Lisa is, yeah.
Many congratulations. Thank you so much. The next category is the Best News and Politics Award. So the Women in Podcasting Award for the Best News and Politics Award is The World Next Week with Carla Ann Robbins and Robert McMahon. Carla, are you here?
Indeed, I am. Thank you. I'm new to podcasting and they brought me on. I was a guest host. I'm learning all the time. The World Next Week is a conversation with and for people who care about the world, know that it is often a grim place, but that it also has incredible complexity and joy and humor. And it's a group effort like all of our podcasts. And people are teaching me all the time. We have our mothership, the Council on Foreign Relations. We have our great producers, Gabrielle Sierra and Esther Fang. And my co-host, Bob McMahon, who is not a woman and is the father of 2 daughters and an incredibly patient man. And everyone says that there's news avoidance in the world. We can't avoid the news and we can't avoid the world, and we have to move together to make it a better place. So thank you to everybody for this, and thank you to our listeners, and vote on Instagram for the Audience Figure of the Week, and please occasionally choose something fun.
Congratulations, Carla Ann. Thank you so much. And I'll hand you back to Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, James, and congrats to all the winners. Our next sponsor is joining us all the way from the UK and has been a huge supporter of the Women in Podcasting Awards and elevating women's voices throughout the podcasting industry. A huge thank you to David Brown of Future Hand Media.
Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, thank you. Future Hand Media, we run a podcast network that's focused on AI and the impact of AI that it has on people and work. And we originally started off with creatives with AI, which is probably relevant to everybody who's here now. And very shortly after, I realized that, we needed to have a conversation about the impact that AI has on women in the workplace as well. So my other my second podcast that we started was Women with AI, and that's hosted by a lady because I'm not the best person to have that conversation. And since then, we've grown to 7 different categories that we talk about, and we've been nominated for 2 independent podcast awards this year. So we find out next Wednesday if we've won one of those. So everybody fingers crossed for us, but that's enough promotion for me. If you go to just With AI FM or withai.fm, you can find all of the shows and all the episodes there. But tonight, I'm very honored to present the Women in Podcasting Award for the Best Psychology Podcast Award. And the winner of the Best Psychology Podcast Award is Change Your Relationship with Food. And that's hosted by Kyla Holly of the Australian Centre for Eating Behaviour.
Wow, thank you so much, everybody. I actually started this podcast only at the beginning of this year on New Year's Day because I was looking for a new project, something to keep me excited and interesting. This is really an extension of the work that I've done for about 15 years in bariatrics and in weight concerns. And its popularity has really surprised me. I thought it was just me listening, but apparently it's really exciting to look at the figures and see people from all over the world embracing this idea of our relationship with food, because it's something that's kind of universal and something that a lot of us have struggled with over the years. So this has really inspired me to keep going. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and thank you everybody at the Women in Podcasting Awards.
Well, thank you, Kyla, and congratulations. So the next category I'm presenting is the Women in Podcasting Award for the Best Mental Health Podcast Award. And the winner for the Best Mental Health Podcast Award is Shit That Goes On in Our Heads. And that's hosted by G Rex and Dirty Skittles.
Wow. Thank you so much. This podcast was really born out of a very dark place. We went live with our podcast in February of 2023 after my own mental breakdown. My co-host can't be here because she's off seeing Taylor Swift today. So, wow. Thank you. Thank you to all our incredible guests for their vulnerability, for my family, for our friends, for our listeners. Our mission is to change the world and normalize how we talk about mental health, because it is such a deep and incredible topic right now. Jennifer, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. I don't even know what else to say, but thank you so much.
Excellent. Brilliant. Well, congratulations, Gretchen, and congratulations, Kyla. And Jennifer, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you so much, David, for your sponsorship, and congrats to the winners. Our next sponsor has been a longtime supporter of the Women Podcasters Network, our show, and the awards from day one. And a huge thank you and welcome to Melanie Benson of Amplify Your Success podcast, one of my favorite podcasts.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. And I'm so honored to be the sponsor of the Business Podcast Award. I'm Melanie Benson. As Jennifer mentioned, my podcast is called Amplify Your Success. We've been podcasting pretty much since the beginning, and we've made it into the top 1.5%, mostly because we have amazing guests and we have an amazing community of people who keep showing up and listening. I specialize in helping experts who feel like a best kept secret to shed that syndrome and stand out in a very crowded market with what I call a lighthouse message, then amplify that through, guess what, podcasts. So podcasting is one of my favorite things on the planet, and I'm really honored to be here with all of you. And I know messaging is a really challenging area for a lot of heart-based, soulful people getting their work out in the world. And happy to share a little resource. I'll drop it in the chat for you all, but it's at melaniebenson.com/method if you want my 4-step messaging hack, if you will. So I can't wait to introduce the winner of the Best Business Podcast Award. So the winner of the Best Business Podcast Award is, drum roll, Amy Riley of The Courage of a Leader. Amy, congratulations. Are you here with us?
Thank you so much. I'm excited. I'm Amy Riley. I am the host of the Courage of a Leader podcast, and I am so honored to receive this award, especially in the company of such strong nominees in the business category. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for voting. And a big thank you to every one of my impressive and courageous guests. I will keep working to get top leaders on the podcast to share their inspiring stories, their real stories, their practical advice that can help us all achieve extraordinary results. If you haven't had a chance to listen, we're at courageofaleader.com/podcast. Thank you so much for this honor.
So we will now, I'm even more excited, I think that's even possible, to celebrate the Best Mindset Podcast Award, because I'm a huge fan of all things mindset. So the winner of the Best Mindset Podcast Award is Evoke Greatness with Sunny Lineberger.
Thank you so very much. First of all, thank you to Jennifer for putting on this awesome event and really just encouraging us as podcasters, but also as women, and elevating this space that we're in. Congratulations to all nominees. I think podcasting is not for the faint of heart. So for everybody who's out there, keep showing up, keep putting out your content, because it's making a difference even when it doesn't feel like it is. And so I always want to make sure I'm sharing that with everyone, because I've certainly been there. But so excited for this award. I want to thank everyone who listens, who's supported and helping me get to the top 3% as well. In addition to everyone who took the time to vote, and over time you feel like you're sending out this message and it's falling on deaf ears, and people rise up to the occasion and support you. And so I'm insanely grateful. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Sunny. Sunny's also in the top 3%. So well done, well done.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer, thank you for having me, and I'll pass the microphone back to you.
Thank you so much, Melanie, for being a sponsor, and congrats to all the winners. Our next sponsor is a leader in the podcasting industry and also a strong supporter of our Women in Podcasting network and show and awards from the day we launched it. And our members rave about Podmatch. And it is an honor to have the Podmatch founder, Alex Sanfilippo, join us as a sponsor and presenter today. Welcome.
Jennifer, thank you so much. Hey, everybody. Great to see you all here. I have to share a small, quick story before I even introduce what I do, but I'm one of 3 co-founders. One of the other co-founders is my wife. And last year with Women in Podcasting, there was an event that Jennifer put on, and Alicia decided she wanted to come do it. And that was like her first time ever doing something solo, standing right here. And after it, she goes, I don't ever want to do that again. And if you ever look at her signature, she says the founder's boss. So she sent me here today, but she says hi to everybody. And she's like, I want you to go do that. So I am truly honored to be here. As Jennifer mentioned, Podmatch.com is the software company that I help run. The whole idea is to connect podcast guests and hosts that are a great fit as fast as possible and remove the friction in between. And if you want to check out anything we do there, I encourage you to go to podmatch.com/free. Give you 5 quick wins you can check out in less than 5 minutes. I don't want an email address or anything like that, but I think you'll all find it really helpful. And again, Women in Podcasting Awards, I am just honored and thrilled to be here today. So I'm so excited to be introducing 2 categories here. So I'm going to jump right into that now. The first one I'm doing here. So first category, Women in Podcasting category that I'm going to be able to introduce here is the Best Authors in Book Podcast Award. So the Best Authors in Book Podcast Award goes to the CC and JT Amateur Hour. That's hosted by Cassidy Carson and JT Hume. Welcome. Congratulations. I'm super excited. Feel free to unmute and share a little bit.
Oh, thank you, guys. I'm so excited. This is a real honor. And I am the co-host of the CC and JT Amateur Hour with my husband and fellow author, JT Hume. And we started doing this during lockdown, just kind of as a hobby, and have really enjoyed doing it. We really feel that we want to support other authors through kind of our experiences. So that's what we're doing every week. Every once in a while, we have done a podcast from the road. We've done some from Canada. So we've gone a little bit international that way, but very excited about this. Thank you so much. And just congratulations to everybody who was nominated and who has won. And I feel like I'm in great company here. So thank you.
Cassidy, I love that. And by the way, both of you are really funny. And I've been listening to your podcast leading up to this. I love that you two innovate and change and get better for your listeners in real time. And you bring people into the journey. I think that's a really rare gift in podcasting. So I just wanted to shout that out because I saw you all doing that. And I was like, I like this. And you all keep humor involved in the process. It's not like this is stressful. It's like, we're having fun. We're figuring out trying to get better for you. So thank you again. And congratulations to you. The second women in podcasting category that I'll be sharing today is actually not a podcast. And by the way, I think this is very much so fitting. This is the Best Expert Guest Award. So this is somebody that is actually a guest on podcasts, maybe many of them that are in this room as well. So again, the category I'm going to be introducing here is the Best Expert Guest Award. And the award winner is actually an award-winning author, Lisa McCourt. Lisa, congratulations and welcome to the stage.
Oh my gosh, Alex, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. Nothing brings me more joy than being in conversation with amazing souls who are making this world a brighter, better, more interesting place with their work, like all of y'all are doing. I am so honored to have opportunities to do that as a guest on y'all's podcast. And I wanted to let you know that I host a podcast as well called The Joy Zone, where I often feature guests who are fellow podcast hosts as well. So we're always talking about ways to stay above the fray during these crazy, challenging times that we find ourselves in these days. And if you've got ideas or thoughts about that, I'd love to interview you on my podcast too. So please reach out at lisamccourt.com. And I look forward to connecting with all of you. It's just such an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Congratulations again, Lisa. I have to say this. I was listening to some stuff that Lisa's put out, her podcast and other things. And I think you all already got this. If this was your first introduction to her, Lisa brings joy everywhere she is. She has this presence about her that just like it helps your energy increase. And like for me, just made me smile. So thank you for that. And I'm just so thrilled that you won this award, and it makes a lot of sense. So again, congratulations. And Jennifer, I'm gonna turn back over to you now. And real quick, just again, thank you so much everybody for having me. Like I love what this community stands for. It's been an honor to be there since the beginning, and just seeing what has happened here. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the next year of this, because I know it's just going to be even bigger, even better, and elevate even more female voices, which I'm so excited about. So thank you again.
Thank you so much, Alex, for being a sponsor. And, you know, if anyone wants to be a guest or looking for guests, check out Podmatch. And congrats to all the winners. If you're looking to improve your speaking skills, I highly recommend connecting with our next sponsor, Anastasia Lipsky of Access Speakers. Come on up.
All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for this opportunity. Real briefly, Access Speakers is a speaker and a podcast booking agency. And then I also do consulting and help speakers, podcast guests, podcast hosts brand themselves so they're better seen, and more importantly, etiquette and best practices on how to be the best type of guest. The type of guest that a host would love is one of the things I love talking about. And I just want to thank all of you for doing this hard work, because my clients and all the people that I know use your platform to share their voice. I mean, this is what this is all about, is sharing our voice. And you all are doing the groundwork. You're doing everything you can to create that platform. And I, for one, so appreciate all the hard work that goes into that. So without further ado, I want to introduce, this is a very important topic, is a best relationships podcast. So this is a very special award to me, because without relationships, I don't think we have even this, like this mycelium network that pulls us all together. Relationships go in so many different ways, but in particular, this one, I think you're going to really find interesting. So again, for the Best Relationships Podcast, the winner is Ex-Wives Undercover with Amber Rasmussen and Athena Klingerman.
Am I going first? Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Athena. So I don't know if I'm up on the screen yet. Yay? Nay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, first of all, thank you. Originally, Amber and I set out to share our personal experiences of being married to the same sociopathic man, expose the need for legal reform, and then expand on domestic violence awareness. We honestly had no clue that our podcast would evolve into so much more. And we are just absolutely grateful for all of the support. And then with that said, we would like to accept this award in honor of my sister, Jessica, who did lose her life due to an act of domestic violence. And I'll let Amber take it from here.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. We have to send a big thank you to all of our Ride or Die listeners who were there from the very beginning. Apparently, there's lots of love criminals out there. So we are just hitting our 4-year anniversary this month. So again, we just want to say thank you to everyone. It truly means the world to us, and we're excited for the future.
Someone else who's doing big work is the winner of this award, which is the Best Pets and Animals podcast. And what's not to love about that? So again, Best Pets and Animal podcast. The winner is a possum human. It's Soul Touched by Dogs, hosted by Anka Herman.
Thank you so much. I feel deeply honored and moved to receive this award because this podcast has been a passion project, a labor of love, really to honor the love and the connection that we share with dogs, and that really have touched my soul. And I suspect that I'm not the only one. So I really want to thank all the listeners who have supported this adventure and the show from the very beginning, and especially my guests, my possum humans, whose stories really inspire hope and an outlook, like a positive outlook for change for the better. And a special thank you goes to all these amazing dogs that, including my own, who have inspired the show and the entire movement. And this award really means the world to me, and I'm super excited, and I can't thank you enough. And thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Women in Podcasting, for creating this event. And I can't wait to have more conversations with possum humans, people who do great work for dogs and their people. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Anastasia, for being a sponsor. And congrats to all the winners.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
So our next sponsor is a strong supporter of women podcasters around the globe and also has a thriving network of podcasters. He's a great interviewer as well. I've been on his show and I highly recommend checking it out. Welcome and thank you to Tom Fox of Compliance Podcast Network.
Jennifer, thank you. I'm really thrilled and honored to be here today. My name is Tom Fox. I'm the founder of the Compliance Podcast Network. It's a B2B network, the only legal and regulatory compliance podcast network. Yes, it really is a thing. We have 70 shows in our network. But Jennifer, what I want to shout out is to the other sponsors, because in many ways they have made these awards possible through your leadership. I became aware of these awards because of the fabulous resource that James talked about, and that's Daily Pod News. I read about these awards in Pod News. I clicked through the link. I thought it was great. I reached out to Jennifer. I said, how can I help? She allowed me to sponsor. She allowed me to interview her. And the other sponsors in this group are some of the top people in podcasting. So I just wanted to shout out to all of the sponsors. But I'm really honored to, and my dogs have now become so excited. They are now helping, as you just heard. So everybody's excited in my household. But I'm honored to present the Women in Podcasting Award for Science. And the winner for the Best Podcast in Science Award is Forces for Nature, hosted by Crystal Demesler. Crystal, I think I saw you were here.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. This is so cool. I really appreciate this. I started Forces for Nature over 3 years ago because I needed to know that there was hope in the world for all of the daunting environmental issues that we hear about. And I wanted to know what I could do to help. And it's winning this award means that, maybe I've been able to also inspire and empower other people with the incredible guests that I've been able to have on. So thank you very much. This is very special.
Well, thank you, Crystal. The next award I get to present in the Women in Podcasting Award is the Podcast Award for the Best Regional Podcast. And the winner for the Best Regional Podcast Award is SoCal Voice, hosted by Angela Ross. Angela, I think I saw that you were on as well.
Yes, I'm here.
I am here. Wow. Thank you, everyone who voted for SoCal Voices. Thank you for everyone who's been on the show. And Jennifer, a special shout out to you for creating Women in Podcasting. This is an incredible group, and I just love the collaboration and the support, and for you creating such a magnificent space for independent women podcasters to shine. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love doing this podcast. It's my passion project. We talk about living and thriving in Southern California, and we help to help people discover the people and places that make SoCal special. And we really pride ourselves on highlighting the issues and the people and the entities that don't get a lot of attention in legacy mainstream media. So this is truly a joy. I want to thank my family and my editor, Chris Donovan. You guys are super supportive. This is incredibly validating and inspirational to me. So thank you all very, very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, Jennifer, I am going to turn it back over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Tom, for being a sponsor, and congrats to all the winners. Our next sponsor offers amazing connection opportunities for women podcasters, and we're so thrilled to have her as a sponsor. Katarina Rando, come on up.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. I'm Katarina Rando, and my favorite thing is to support women in amplifying their voices, getting their messages out there, and bringing women together. I'm the host of Expand Your Fempire podcast, and I'm the creator of Amp Up, a mastermind cruise for women speakers, podcasters, and business leaders. And we're having our inaugural Amp Up adventure next April. Podcasting is a way for women to, from wherever they are, connect with other women. And I am so excited to present the first award, which is the Best Storytelling Podcast. The winner of the Best Storytelling Podcast is Claudia Callisto. Her podcast is The Good Italian Girl and Friends. Claudia, congratulations.
Hi, it's Claudia here, and I'm from Australia in Adelaide, and I'm so excited to be here. I've got up very early to meet your time frames. Can you see my video? No?
Yes, we can see you.
Yeah. I am so honored. I started this podcast as a passion project 2 years ago to amplify the voices of Italian Australians and to tell the stories of our generation, that we grew up in the 80s and how we lived in two worlds, with one foot in the Italian culture and one foot in the Australian culture. And I've started off by writing a book and then talking about the stories for myself, and then gathering other stories for women. And some of the women have never been, in a podcast studio. They're of all ages, and they just love coming and telling their stories. And I get such gold nuggets of women's voices. I absolutely love doing my podcast. It's what allows me to thrive in this world. And I love my Italian culture. And this is one way for me to be able to combine everything I do. And if it wasn't for my family and friends supporting me, I don't think I would have continued to try and do as much as I could. So I'm so honored to be part of this. This is the first time I've entered an award. I'm a new person to the podcasting world, and I just can't believe it. I really didn't think that I'd be a finalist, let alone be an award winner. So thank you so much, and I'm so grateful to just enter into this community now. You'll be seeing a lot more of me, hopefully.
Thank you, Claudia. Claudia, your passion, your enthusiasm, it comes through so much. And that's what we get to do, right? We get to share our passion through podcasting and uplift other women with their voices. Thank you again. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our next award, or the next award that I get to present to all of you, is the Best Music Podcast Award. And the winner of the Best Podcast Music Award, Best Music Podcast, is A Breath of Fresh Air by Sandy Kay. hosted by Sandy Kay. Sandy, congratulations. I saw your smile on the screen a little bit earlier. There you go.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to win this. It's such an important category for me. And I mean, like many of you, a passion project that started post-COVID, where I wanted to reach out to the aging stars of 60s, 70s, 80s music, because they're all dying. The guys, and they are mostly men, there's only a handful of women in there. The ones who gave us the soundtrack to our lives, the ones we still listen to every day on the radio and know all the words to every song to. So I wanted to get them all to create an archive where they can tell their own stories, their journeys of all the pitfalls and all the triumphs that they've had and how they got to be where they are and what it means to them to have their songs known and recognized by people the world over. So it's for them that I accept this award. So many of the ones I've spoken to already have passed away. I'm racing against time to get them to tell their stories in their own voices. And I'm so grateful to you for recognizing them through me and my passion for telling their stories. Jennifer, thank you for everything you do. This Women in Podcasting is awesome.
And thank you, Jennifer. It's an honor to be involved with Women in Podcasting. Turning it back over to you.
Congrats to the winners, and thank you so much for being a sponsor, Katerina. So our next sponsor has provided overflowing support for the Women in Podcasting Awards, and we're so pleased to have him as a sponsor, as he has an extremely interesting show. I highly recommend checking it out. Come on up, Dan Lefebvre of Based on a True Story podcast.
Great to be here. My name is Dan Lefebvre. I'm the host of Based on a True Story, a podcast that compares your favorite Hollywood movies with history over at basedonatruestorypodcast.com. And it's an honor to be here presenting two categories. The first one for the Women in Podcasting Award for Best Lifestyle Podcast. And the winner for the Best Lifestyle Podcast Award goes to Just Grow Something, hosted by Karen Velez. Come on up, Karen.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much for you and your organization, your team for continuing to elevate the voices of women in podcasting. This is absolutely amazing. I have to thank my amazing gardening friends who have made Just Grow Something a true community, who are all sharing information with each other and asking questions and giving advice and encouraging each other out in the garden and helping each other to grow their own food, which was the goal of the Just Grow Something podcast, to offer science-based and evidence-backed techniques to help teach people how to grow their own food, regardless of the space that they are working with, whether they are, in a suburban backyard or if they're living in a downtown apartment and they don't even have a space to grow outdoors, and to teach them how to be able to grow at least a little bit of something of their own, because it is so empowering and it is absolutely something that is a necessary skill for everybody to know. So that was where my passion came from, and that is what we have been doing now for 4 seasons. And I am truly honored that my little community has spoken up and has voted for me. So that is absolutely a fantastic feeling, and it makes me feel like this award will help us to bring that message and all that information to even more people. And I also have to shout out my husband, who got tired of hearing me yammer on to him about all the gardening stuff and bought me the podcasting equipment and said, please talk to somebody else. So now we have all the people that are now listening, and that is absolutely fantastic. And I thank him for his support. And thank you to all of you amazing ladies for being here, and for you fantastic sponsors. I can't wait to see what happens with these awards next year. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Karen. As you can see from my background, I love plants as well. So I've been learning from your show myself too. The next category I'm presenting is the Women in Podcasting Award for Best History Podcast. And as a history podcaster myself, I'm very excited to present the Best History Podcast Award goes to True Weird Stuff, hosted by Sherry Lynch. Congratulations, Sherry.
Oh, wow. This is so incredibly exciting for us. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer, and Women in Podcasting. Podcasting is the most awesome collaborative medium. So this one belongs to my True Weird Stuff team: Max, Doc, Steven, Tony, Heather, our incredible voice actors, every one of them volunteering their time and talents. And we make this show for the people who gather around our little digital campfire every week just to hear a story. It's my passion project. It's a pure joy to do. And as a woman creator in this medium and a lifelong history and science nerd, Podcasting is a playground. We love it here. I speak for all of us true weirdos when I say it is a thrill and an honor. We're so proud to be a part of this group. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Sherry. Congratulations, Karen. And I'll hand it back to you, Jennifer.
Oh, thank you so much for being a sponsor, Dan, and congrats to all the winners. Our next sponsor is an inspiration to many women and has a very uplifting show. We're thrilled to have her as a sponsor of the Women in Podcasting Awards. Christina Vidovich, come on up.
Hi there, everyone, and thank you, Jennifer, for having me as a presenter today. I feel like the energy in this place is amazing. I just want to say a round of applause to everybody here. This is wonderful, and thank you for having me here today. I'm Christina, the producer and host of Women's Health, Wealth, and Happiness Interviews to Inspire, where I interview women from around the world to tell their stories through health, wealth, and happiness. I launched my podcast February 14th on Valentine's Day, with my mother being the very first guest. And now I'm in my third season, just wrapping it up. And again, so happy to be here today to help present. Presenting the award for Best Educational Podcast. The winner of the category of Best Educational Podcast. The award goes to Get Lit with Linda, hosted by Linda Mora.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm really, really pleased and thrilled about this. What an honor it is to win this award. First, thank you to Jennifer, you amazing podcasting goddess, for putting all of this together, and the Women in Podcasting Awards and the sponsors for creating an award for women's contributions to this field, doing that really important work of amplifying our voices. To my fabulous producer, Marco Timpano, and the studio manager, James Healy, and all the amazing Canadian and Indigenous authors who have been a part of this podcast with me. Above all else, I want to thank every single person who voted and showed support for me, who have been listening to the episodes of Getting Lit with Linda. I hope you'll continue to read great Canadian books and continue to get lit with me. Thank you so much.
The next category that I'm honored to present the award for Best Entertainment Podcast. The winner of the Best Entertainment Podcast goes to No More Late Fees, hosted by Danielle and Jackie.
So thank you so much to Women in Podcasting for this award. When we started No More Late Fees, we thought we were speaking into a void, and we were okay with that. We like to talk to each other. So to know that we have dedicated listeners who took time to vote, it's truly so special for us. And it did take an incredible community to lift us up, give us the kind of feedback that we needed, not necessarily wanted. And it reminds us that it's okay to pivot when things aren't working. And the real trick was to not be afraid to try new things, whether it was a fresh idea or a leap of faith DM. So thank you, and I'll pass over to my co-host.
This is amazing. We're very excited. As you all know, hosting a podcast takes a lot of time and energy, but we love doing this week after week. We're beyond grateful that we get to do it together as best friends for over 25 years. And ex-Blockbuster employees getting to kind of relive the heydays of our youth. The support, like Jackie said, from our community has been amazing. Our listeners, our guests, our friends, our family, it just means the world to us. Thank you so much again to Jennifer for putting this together. It has been a masterclass in organization, so hats off to you on that. Just thank you. And remember, be kind and rewind.
Congratulations to you, Danielle and Jackie. Amazing. And thank you to Women of Podcasting. This is so wonderful. Thank you, Jennifer. Back to you.
Oh, thank you for being a sponsor, and congrats to the winners. I kind of miss those Blockbuster days. I liked going on Friday nights and picking out the video. It was a community thing. You know, I love community stuff. All right. Our next sponsor has the Best Content Club, and I highly recommend it. I've been in many content clubs, and hers is really the best. We're thrilled to have her as a sponsor and a huge supporter of the Women in Podcasting group, membership, show, and awards, and she's my sister. Welcome to the stage, Angela Fazer.
Hi, everybody. My name is Angela Fazer, and I am the owner of the Social Bliss Content Club and Social Bliss Blueprint. And I create digital content, and I am a social media manager, helping a lot of podcasters with their content and engagement online. When you are a member of my Social Bliss Content Club, you receive daily done-for-you content, Canva templates, and all of my programs and bundles to help you build your business online. So you can check that all out at socialblissblueprint.com. So I'm so excited for this. This community is so amazing, and it's amazing to see what my sister has grown over the years. Just more and more podcasters. I love it. All right, so the first award category for Best Over 50 Podcast. So the winner of the Women in Podcasting Award for Best Over 50 Podcast is Fabulous Over 50, hosted by the fabulous Jen Hardy.
Okay, this is so cool. Thank you so much. I'm very, very excited. As some of you know, we started off talking about being sick, and that was a lot. And so a year and a half ago, we changed to Fabulous Over 50, and I found glitter, and it has been wonderful ever since. I just want to thank Jennifer for being such an incredible, incredible support over the last couple of years since I've known you. You and this community and every woman here, you are amazing. So thank you. It's making me teary. Thanks.
All right, that's great, Jen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, the second award I am announcing the winner of is the Best Horror, Thriller, or Paranormal Podcast. So the Women in Podcasting Award for Best Horror, Thriller, and Paranormal Podcast, Murder and Mimosas, hosted by Danica Yates and Shannon Jones.
I don't know what to say, but we do want to thank everyone who is listening and supports us, our families, and Jennifer, thank you for putting this on. These awards are amazing, and empowering female voices is awesome. Many people talked about this being their passion project. It's ours too. Being able to bring the victims' families' voices to the front stage is something that's really a big passion for us. So to be able to win this award for doing something that we have a major heart for is amazing. And we want to thank everyone who has supported us from the very beginning up until now and who continues to in the future. Thank you.
Over to you, Jen. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a sponsor, Ange, and for presenting today, and congrats to all the winners.
Yes, for sure.
Up next, audiences find this guy's story very compelling. So if you're looking for a guest, I highly recommend him. He's a very inspiring man, and he's a great husband. You guessed it, Paul Hensel of Inspiring Innovators Show. He's going to take over my seat.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the intro. So I am Jennifer's husband, Paul Hensel. Jen and I started our first podcast, The Inspiring Innovator Show, out of my near-death experience. And we focused on the positive, built a community around our message, and I went from an injured mill worker to a TEDx and international speaker. I'm also an author of my book, Crushed Alive, and I would like to gift you all a digital copy of my book, which you can get at inspiringshow.com. Now I'm excited to present this award. I would now like to present the Best Inspiration and Motivation Podcast Award. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards, Best Inspiration and Motivation Podcast is Don't Wait for Your Wake Up Call, hosted by Melissa Deely.
Thank you so much. I can just feel myself shaking here. This is such an honor. And thank you, Paul and Jennifer, for creating the Women in Podcasting Awards, as well as to all the sponsors who have made this event possible. A big thank you as well to everybody working behind the scenes to bring it all together. I am truly honored to be nominated alongside such an incredible group of podcasters, each with powerful messages. And I'm so grateful to be the selected recipient in the Inspiration and Motivation Award. I want to thank my family for their support, all my listeners and fans who voted for me. The vision of my podcast is to bring holistic health information to my audience, along with inspirational stories of those who have healed themselves. If someone is struggling with their health, all it takes is finding one person who's overcome their challenge to let them know that they can too. And that gives them hope and inspires action. And finally, a huge shout out to Michelle Abraham and Braden Ricketts of Amplify You. Without Michelle's insight 4 years ago that podcasts get 20 minutes of listen time versus 3 seconds on social media, I wouldn't have jumped into this amazing journey 3.5 years ago. So thank you so much, everyone.
Congrats, Melissa. Now, the second award I'm presenting is the Best Broadcast Award. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Broadcast Award goes to The Jen Hardy Show, hosted by Jen Hardy.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I've got to read this one because I can't get through this again. This is huge, guys. So everyone said to put your podcast on YouTube. Put your podcast on YouTube. And Jen, stop me in a minute. And I did it. I thought, why doesn't anyone get on there and say shower thoughts in the shower? And I did that. And I put one episode of my podcast on. And 3 weeks later, I was monetized. And I now have 2 creator managers and at YouTube. And I'm going to a party with them. And I just want to say, it does not matter how old you are or what your circumstance is. It's so cool. So thank you. And I also want to thank my husband, best friend, and producer, David Hardy, because without him, I could not do this. He is popping champagne right now, you guys, because this is so exciting. Yeah. So anyway, thank you. There we go. We'll have a little sip for everybody, and it's grape juice for everyone who does not imbibe in that. And he also picked something up just in case we won. So he is the most amazing, supportive husband ever. So thank you, Dave. And thank you, everybody. And to all of you women out there, you all inspire me. And I love hearing all of your different stories. And reach out to me and come on the show. And let's go live together and celebrate all of our wins. Okay? So cheers to everyone. Thank you.
Congrats, Jen Hardy.
Thank you to Paul, and congrats to the winners. We have lots of awards to come, but I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors, and especially those who helped us with presenting today. Thank you for your overflowing support of the Women in Podcasting Awards, and we couldn't have done this without you. You are helping us to elevate women's voices globally and in the podcasting industry. And you can see all of the sponsors at womenpodcasters.com. So congrats to all the winners so far. My name again is Jennifer Hensel, and I'll be presenting the remaining awards. Next, I'll be presenting the category of Best Society and Culture Podcast. And the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Society and Culture Podcast is The American Dream in the Eyes of Immigrants, hosted by Heidi De La Cruz. Come on up, Heidi.
No way. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank God for putting the passion and the message in my heart to elevate and share immigrant stories, and the discipline to be able to follow through with that, the passion and the message. And just thank you to my family, especially my husband, for his unconditional support in this. Thank you so much to all the guests who were brave enough and have that courage to share their immigrant journey of coming to the United States. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to every single person who voted. Thank you, Jennifer, for putting this awards and this community that you have together. And oh my gosh, just thank you so much. This podcast is more than a podcast to me. It really is a mission for me. I say that the podcast is, I'm on the mission to change the narrative of immigration to a more compassionate and empathetic approach. especially in the season that we're in right now. And I am just so excited to do my small part in elevating immigrant stories and sharing their stories. And just thank you. Thank you so much. It is such an honor to win this award today.
Oh, it's such a thrill to know you, Heidi. Thank you for being here. The next category I'll be presenting is Best LGBTQ+ Podcast Award. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best LGBTQ+ Podcast Award is Just Breathe, Parenting Your LGBTQ Teen. And that's hosted by Heather Hester. Come on up, Heather.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have like butterflies in my stomach. I've had butterflies for the past hour. I'm so excited. Thank you, Jennifer, so much for this honor, for this opportunity, for this amazing community. When I launched Just Breathe 5 years ago to this month, which is kind of wild to think about, it too was a passion project like so many people out there. And I did it out of just this really deep desire to let parents and allies and LGBTQ+ people know that they are not alone. And that is what I've said at the beginning and the end of every episode from day one. And that's my mission. That was my mission then. That is my mission now, to let them know that there is hope, there's love, there's support, there are resources. And I have had the opportunity to meet and interview so many extraordinary people that it's changed my life. I mean, it's been such an incredible opportunity. So I am so grateful to my husband and my kids, who are my 5 reasons for doing this work, and for so many amazing people who supported me along the way. One also being Michelle Abraham, also Candy Motzek, Mia Moran, and Jennifer Zweibel. And I would be delighted for you all to go check it out, to share it with someone who you know would benefit from it, who would love listening to it. And I thank all the sponsors, every single person who voted for me and for this amazing podcast. And I love it. I love it so much. So thank you, Jennifer, so much for this opportunity.
Oh, congrats. And thank you for being here. And by the way, Michelle and Brandon are also sponsors of this awards. And I guess they couldn't make it today, but yeah, check them out. Amplify You. They are very helpful to podcasters. The next category, Best Parenting Kids or Family Podcast Award. And the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Parenting Kids or Family Podcast Award is Badass Moms, the podcast, hosted by Sharla, Tahira, and Tanique. Come on up.
Oh my gosh, really wasn't expecting that, especially after hearing so many international voices. Thank you to everyone who voted, who took the time to show love and appreciation for what we do. Big up, obviously, my co-host Tanique, who can't be online tonight because she's dealing with family life. Typical badass working mum. We started this idea, we came up with it when we was pregnant, and we was like trying to figure out how we're going to do this. How are we going to balance a career and a family? And I mean, my daughter's almost 7 and I'm still doing it. So yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to all the guests who come on the show and so vulnerable. We've talked about such sensitive issues, from miscarriages to C-sections to negotiating with your employer, like literally going back to work. We've covered a lot. So yeah, thank you so much for the recognition. Thank you to you, Jennifer, and everyone for putting us on this platform. And yeah, here's to more podcast episodes.
Oh, thank you for being here and congrats. The next category is the Best Nonprofits, Associations, and Organizations Podcast Award. And the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards for Best Nonprofits, Associations, and Organizations Podcast Award is Zone 7, hosted by Cheryl McCollum.
Hey, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. First, Jennifer, I've just got to tell you how much I appreciate it. This is our first award, so it'll always mean something to me to be associated with women in podcasting. So thank you so much. I've got to thank Nancy Grace, who pushed me to do this when I told her I didn't have time to do a podcast. I didn't even know what a podcast was. Scott Morgan, he would call me, text me, meet with me, and help me understand this unbelievable community. Eric and Max, my first producers, I'm not here without you, because Lord knows I didn't know how to do any of that. Wilson, thanks for not getting me sued. You keep me straight on all those kind of things when I'm making comments about cases. To my 4 sisters, Magnolia Mafia, I love y'all, appreciate you. To my husband, Walt, who has been supportive since we were 14 years old with anything that I wanted to do in this business. So can't tell him how much I appreciate it. To our children, Huck and Caroline, they were my first fan club, they told me, and they still are. So I appreciate them so much. To everybody that voted, I am so blown away that I even got noticed to be here in the top 3, but to win it is just incredible. So thank you to everybody that voted, but mostly to families of our cases, the victims, the family members, the detectives, the police officers, and the expert. That is my Zone 7. Those are my people. So this is for all of them. So again, Jennifer, and to the women in podcasting, thank you so much.
Oh, congrats, and thank you for being here. The next category is the Best Health, Wellness, and Fitness Podcast Award. So the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Health, Wellness, or Fitness Podcast Award is Egg Meets Sperm, hosted by Dr. Amatma Simmons.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I am so excited and honored to win this award. You guys, like, this community is amazing. I love that there are so many female podcasters. When I started this 4 years ago, I kind of felt like I was one of not that many. And this community has grown and grown and grown. I love it. And I love all of the work you guys are doing. I've been following you guys. And for our podcast, Egg Meets Sperm, our vision is really to land into the ears of people that are struggling with fertility. So if you know someone, please share this podcast along with them. And mostly, I'm just grateful to be amongst all of you amazing people doing amazing things in the world and sharing your wisdom, sharing your voice, which I think is just like a unique gift that we can offer the world. So if you're new or if you just started out, keep going. I have felt for so long like no one's listening, but people are listening. So keep going. Thank you so much.
The next category is the Best Arts and Design Podcast Award, and the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards for Best Arts and Design Podcast Award is In 10 Years' Time, How to Live a Creative Life by Trisha Duffy.
Thank you so much. I feel quite underdressed now for accepting an award, and it's a total surprise. The competition in my category was so high, so thank you for everyone who voted for In 10 Years' Time, How to Live a Creative Life, and to Jennifer for everything that you do to help the profile of women in podcasting. I think I speak for everybody when I say that we massively appreciate it. Huge thank you to everyone who voted for me. It's such a shock. My podcast has only been around since the summer of this year of 2024. So to have been able to be even nominated, let alone win an award, is a complete and utter surprise. And I'm just going to go lie down in a dark room now. Thank you.
The next category is the Best Faith-Based Podcast Award, and the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards for Best Faith-Based Podcast Award is A Guided Life Podcast, hosted by Laura West.
I am absolutely thrilled to have won the award for Best Podcast in the faith-based category. Thank you so much to everyone who voted for my A Guided Life podcast. I want to thank all of my amazing guests for their contribution in making the show the success that it is. I also want to thank Women in Podcasting for this opportunity to have my show recognized. Core memories like this are the fuel I need to continue with my passion for podcasting and sharing mine and my guest stories. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you again so much.
The next category we'll be presenting is the Best Financial and Investing and Money Podcast Award. And the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Financial, Investing, or Money Podcast Award is The Angel Next Door by Marcia Daywood.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm so excited to have won this award for women in podcasting. Thank you so much for this incredible honor. Being recognized among so many talented women in podcasting is truly humbling. I started the Angel Next Door podcast in order to help people realize that they can make an impact, whether it's through angel investing, entrepreneurship, or simply pursuing what lights them up. I watch too many founders, especially women and people of color, struggle to raise money for the amazing innovations that they're working on. And all along, more people could be investors, but they have no idea that it's accessible to them. They think it's just for the rich and well-connected, and that's simply not true anymore. Since 2016, you can be an investor through equity crowdfunding for as little as $50. So please listen, and thank you so much for this honor.
Okay, our next category is the Best Sports Podcast Award. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards for Best Sports Podcast Award is Sorry Partner, hosted by Catherine Harris and Jocelyn Starts.
Thank you for this incredible honor. We are thrilled to accept our Women in Podcasting Award in the sports category. The mission of Sorry Partner is to make Bridge fun and engaging for everyone. And so we are delighted to have this opportunity to share our love of the game, which is the ultimate mind sport. We would like to thank the Women in Podcasting Awards for showcasing so much podcasting talent, and the sponsors of the event for supporting women in podcasting. Congratulations also to the other nominees, and to Jade and Olivia, our production assistants, for all their hard work. And thank you to all our fabulous guests and the many people who have gotten behind the show in countless ways. And thank you to our wonderful listeners who inspire us every day. Mostly, however, we would like to thank the people who voted for us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, our next category is the Best Fiction, Drama, or Scripted Podcast Award. And the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Fiction, Drama, or Scripted Podcast Award is Girls Night Out, hosted by Mary Labrie.
Hello, I'm Mary Labrie, the writer, producer, and editor of Girls Night Out, a fiction podcast, and winner of the Best Fiction Podcast Award at the Women in Podcasting Awards this year. When I wrote the story, I wanted to tell about midlife women trudging through the messiness of menopause, manifesting their power, and saving the world. And so it is truly an honor to be recognized for that story at the Women in Podcasting Awards and the mighty community of women that stand behind that. So thank you. I also want to thank our international cast of voice actors who truly brought this story to life, and the composer of the original music, Dan Egan. So thank you to all of you. Thank you to Women in Podcasting Awards, and thank you to the women out there in the podcasting community for listening.
The next category is the Best Marketing Podcast Award, and the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Marketing Podcast is Girl Means Business, hosted by Kendra Swalls.
Thank you so much for such an incredible award and for the honor of getting to be in the presence of so many amazing female podcasters. When I started the Girl Means Business podcast back in 2019, there were not a lot of female podcasters for me to really look up to. And I love that just in the last 5 years, that has changed incredibly. There are so many amazing female podcasters out there now. And to be in the company of such greatness is really, really special. So thank you so much for everyone who voted for my show, for everyone who has ever listened to the Girl Means Business podcast, who has ever commented or engaged in any kind of way. That is exactly why I created this podcast in the first place, is to give women the inspiration and the motivation to live a life that they love and to dream big. And so for everyone listening and watching, I just say, keep dreaming big, because you never know when something amazing is going to happen. So keep listening, keep dreaming, and I cannot wait to see what amazing things we as female podcasters can do in the future. Thank you so much.
The next category is Best Comedy Podcast Award. And the winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Comedy Podcast Award is Encores and Ability Scores, hosted by Samantha Bowen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Samantha. I am a player and I am the producer of Encores and Ability Scores. Thank you. We are so pleased to be accepting this award from Women in Podcasting. It is such an honor. Encores and Ability Scores is a TTRPG podcast combining D&D and musical theater. We pride ourselves on bringing the humor and the drama of Broadway into the tabletop to have a new audience see these stories told from a different way. We'd like to thank our team, Megan, Grayson, Hannah, and Christian. And thank you to our fans and to the Women in Podcasting team for creating this opportunity. Don't forget to follow us along at D&D Musical Pod to stay tuned for more chaos anywhere you get your podcasts.
The next category we're going to award is Best Careers Podcast Award. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Careers Podcast Award is Women Changing Leadership, hosted by Stacey Mayer.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this incredible award. I am so honored to be a part of celebrating women in podcasting. When I started my podcast, Women Changing Leadership, over 5 years ago, I remember spending many days and weeks on that very first episode and thinking, how in the world am I going to be able to sustain this over the years? Fast forward to now, 250 episodes later, celebrating women who are changing the face of the leadership table and giving so many women powerful tools to break that glass ceiling and to get them the recognition, power, and influence that they deserve. I want to thank my podcast producer, Jennifer from Bourbon Barrel Podcasting. I couldn't have done these episodes without you. And also my marketing manager, Marie Hannafin, for all of her support. Here's to another 250 more episodes.
Okay, the next category we're going to award is Best Travel Podcast. The winner of the Women in Podcasting Awards Best Travel Podcast Award is Ticket to Anywhere, hosted by Leah Arrow and Tracy Hua.
It is our greatest honor to be nominated and actually win the title of Best Travel Podcast at the Women in Podcasting Awards. Thank you to Jen and the entire team for putting this together. I'm Leah of Ticket to Anywhere Podcast, and unfortunately my co-host Trizzy could not be here today. Neither of us could be here today, but who knew that 5 years ago when starting this little travel podcast of ours that immediately went to YouTube and everywhere you can listen, that we would be here 5 years later winning Best Travel Podcast. And all we want to do is inspire others around the world that look like us, that may not have seen the opportunities in their future, and help you travel more no matter what your life circumstances or job situation may be. So thank you from the bottom of Ticket to Anywhere's heart for this.
Congratulations to all the winners. Thank you again to all the nominees and sponsors who participated in the awards this year. That concludes this year's Women in Podcasting Awards for 2024. If you would like to participate in 2025 Women in Podcasting Awards nominations or as a sponsor, everything will open up in February, or you can reach out to me anytime and we can get you set up. In the meantime, I invite you to join us in the Women Podcasters community at womenpodcasters.com for only $5 a month, where we offer a thriving community of podcasters and expert guests, along with time-saving templates for starting, growing, and monetizing your podcast. And your support goes a long way in helping us to elevate women's voices globally and in the podcasting industry. My name again is Jennifer Hensel, and until next time, be encouraged. Bye for now.